I think the vampire test is something that's really crucial. Most people don't think about it enough and use it enough, but I think it becomes really, really important. Let's get stuck in now and let's make sure your clients and your patients pass the important vampire test. All right, so let's get stuck straight in. I mean, the whole premise around the vampire test, just wanted to let everyone know, it's not an idea that I came up with. It was actually a great book back done about 1991, 1992. It was done by John Richardson, and it was called The Life of Picasso. And it was all about Pablo Picasso and his life. Funnily enough, that's what happens when people write biographies, right? And what the author actually put forward was a whole lot of avenues in and around Picasso himself, and how even his granddaughter, I'm trying to think whether it's Marina, maybe it's Marina Marianne. It's been a while since I read it actually, but his granddaughter used to even describe, and this is Picasso's granddaughter, used to even describe him as someone that you would spend a whole day with. And if you spent a whole day with him, you would, leave his place and you just feel exhausted. You just want to sit down and collapse and feel exhausted, because she, along with a lot of other people, felt that he was the type of person that would just suck the energy out of you throughout the whole day, suck, like the life out of you as such, right? And that was okay for him, for Picasso, because Picasso would then, suck the energy out of Marina, his granddaughter. Marina would leave and feel all, totally exhausted, no energy. And Picasso would be able to go into his studio and paint. And he did some phenomenal work, as we're all aware. And the thing is that he would use that energy that he pulled from other people, that he drew out of other people ultimately, to further himself and his art and things like that. Now, that might sound like a really negative way of looking at things, and it's not, and it's certainly not a criticism of Picasso or his works or anything. But it's interesting when people, even direct family members, actually describe someone like Picasso in that way. And ultimately, it's what some of us have come to know over the years. It was something that I was taught many years ago. It's not my thing, but it's something I always think about, is the vampire test. Because ultimately, a vampire sucks the life out of someone, right? They suck the blood, the person dies, they just draw everything out of them in a way that the person goes. And so that's why it's almost like Picasso himself was a vampire in many respects, just sucking all the energy out. Now, what does that have to do with us in the health and medical industry? Well, a heck of a lot, to be totally honest, because we all know those clients that suck the energy or life out of us. Right now, if I said to you, think about that person in the last week that you've seen that has just sucked the life blood out of you. You probably have someone, for some of you, 2 or 3 people that you think, oh, that person is just so painful to work with. Like I go into those sessions and I dread them. I see their name on the diary and I'm like, oh, just knowing that the session's going to drag on, knowing that it might be all this small talk, or that they're going to just keep going on and I can't get rid of them, or they're just painful because of the way they approach blah, 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 or maybe it's a malingerous client that you get what the drift is, right? We all have them, or we all used to have them. Here's the thing. Do your clients actually pass that vampire test right now? Can you honestly look at your diary and say, you know what? We've got a few vampires in our books or in our database right now that are sucking the energy out of you and your team. Because vampires shouldn't be around. We don't need vampires in our business. And unfortunately, vampires can't be cured, right? A vampire can't be cured. You've just got to banish them. You've got to destroy it, get rid of them, and banish them from your life. So we can't really actually look at this and sort of say, well, let's work with them because you can't work with a vampire. So here's the thing. The more effort you put in and the more time you put into those vampires, the more it's actually going to suck more energy and suck the life out of you and your team. But why do we allow ourselves to have these vampires in our business? And quite simply, there's too much fear in your mindset that, oh, hang on a sec, if we got rid of that, we'd have less clients and we'd have less people and there'd be less cash flow and the business wouldn't be successful and we'd have these, and we start to spiral and get negative about the situation. The fact of the matter is, it's a complete opposite. When you actually focus your attention on more of the people that you do want to work with and you invest more time and effort into the right people, like attracts like. So the more you actually have vampires, the more you allow them to suck the energy out of them, the more you yourself will turn up with less energy to the next consult. You'll actually be in a situation where you won't be at 100% for all of your other A-class non-vampire clients. And so as a net result, you're actually doing them a disservice. You're not providing everything you possibly can. And so you can get into overwhelm, you can get into burnout, you can have people just not enjoying their workload or the clientele, all because of a very small number of vampires. So have a think about this. Can you look to get rid of these blood-sucking, life-sucking energy suckers out of your business right now and away from yourself and your team? The answer is yes. Absolutely you can. And I'm highly recommending that you should. Because ultimately, we want to be able to look at our diaries. We want to be able to know that all of our clients and patients on our diaries for ourselves or our team pass the vampire test. That being, do they suck the energy and life out of myself or my team by being a client of our practice? And if they do suck the life out of them or drain the energy and make people feel flat or worn out, whether it's you or a team member, then I strongly encourage you to move them on. Banish them from your life. Don't try and work with them because you're not a superstar that can change those people. You can't, I can't, we all can't. And there's always going to be a very small number of people that will always be the type of people that are just not fitting into who you are or who your team is or the ethos and values and culture around you and your team. And that's okay. Don't feel that your business won't survive. Your business is not in a position where you have to take every client on board right now. And if you feel that way that it is, then you need to probably let me know and have a chat, because you should never be in a situation where you're seeing clients just because you need to, keep the numbers up, or you're doing this going, it's only 10% of the diary that we don't really like working with, but we sort of have to because I've got to keep these people employed and keep the numbers up. That's the complete wrong mentality to this. It's like trying to dance with the devil. I'm okay to do backdoor deals with the devil because it's going to justify the business staying, where it is, or blah, blah, blah. No, we can't ever think like that. We can't ever give in to allowing vampires to be in and around our business or our team. So the first thing we need to do right now is go and do an audit of our diary. Look at the clients that are on the diary for yourself and your team. Are they sucking the life from you and your team members? Are they pulling out all the energy? Because if they are, then you don't want them around. We've got to banish them. Right? We've got to identify, we've got to be Marina, the granddaughter of Pablo Picasso, and we have to be able to look at the people that are sucking the life and energy out of ourselves and our team, and we need to rid them from our lives, get rid of them out of the diary as soon as possible. There's plenty of easy ways to do that. If you're not sure how, hit me up. I'm more than happy to let you in on a few ways that we do it, and we help our clients do that, because it becomes really powerful. Now, if that means that you drop 3 or 4% of your diary, then that's completely fine. We will be able to help you and show you how to actually bring in more of the right people. By creating a vacuum, creating some white space on the diary and getting rid of those D-class vampires, then what you'll actually do is attract more clients of the A and B type nature. Like attracts like. You will naturally have that vacuum effect, and you'll start to bring people in that are not the vampires, and they're more of the clientele that you do want. So if you want some help, reach out and let me know. If not, I encourage you right now, go and check the vampire test against your own clientele right now. Any that suck the energy and life out of you, we have to get rid of. It's the best and easiest way for you to protect yourself and your team mentally, keep you energized, invigorated, giving yourself and everyone the best opportunity and your best self moving forward. So let's apply the vampire test, rid ourselves of vampires, banish them for good, and know that everyone, ourselves, our team, our family, our friends, are all much better if we guarantee that all of our clients can pass the vampire test. I'll talk to you again very soon. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.